what we think schedule is. In simple words, project schedule is just a sequence of activities in which a complex project is divided into simpler and manageable tasks. So what we do? We first understand the entire project scope, divide it into major work packages, and then divide it into further manageable activities, and that's how the schedule is developed. But the real question is how to develop well-built schedule. Now let's focus on the key ingredients to develop a well-built schedule. The first one is we must capture each activity in the project. Each individual activity which will lead to the completion of the project must be captured through various project documents, whether it's the drawing, the tender documents, the specification, or the query raised during the bidding process. Each document must be properly studied to identify each activity. The second important point is logical duration estimate. Now, duration estimate of each individual activity can be based on the past experience. For example, a slab to slab cycle may take 21 days, may take 41 days based on the formwork system, or it must be purely on the basis of calculations. Like one excavator, if excavate 10 cubic meter per day, then how much 10 excavator can excavate in a week? The third thing is logical resource estimation. Correct estimation of resource in a schedule is the key parameter which will decide the success of the schedule. Resource estimation should be logical and should be analytical, based on the past experience and the production rate of various resources. Now coming to the fourth point to develop a well-built schedule, that is relationship and dependencies. Now this is the art in which a scheduler must be expert. This comes through the experience at site. How does each activity interact with the successor and the predecessor? Because if the schedule does not capture the correct relationship, then all you will require is to coordinate a lot at site and will result in delay of the project. The fifth important point is the assumption and constraint. No schedule can be made without few assumptions and few constraints, and hence it must be properly addressed while execution phase. Making assumption and constraint are important concept while developing a schedule. Now coming to the next point, which is equally very important, is practical resource loading. A schedule without a proper resource loading will not give you any idea about completion of the project, that when you can expect the project completion and at what cost. And simply what will happen, the project will start delaying and you will not be able to judge anything from the schedule if it's not properly resource loaded. A proper resource loaded schedule can give answers to all the management questions which otherwise remain unanswered. Now coming to the last point, which is monitoring and controlling. A schedule is prepared once, but its monitoring and controlling is being done for the entire life cycle of the project to find the cost escalation, time overrun, and various other defects while the execution of the project. It gives you a better picture about the project to identify the bottlenecks and spot opportunities for project success. Now we have a clarity about how to develop a well-built schedule. Now let us explore how Microsoft project can be very useful in developing such schedule, because it can easily handle and manage thousands of activity. Once we define the relationship between the activities, then we can use it to optimize the time of the project by identifying the critical path and allocating resource accordingly, which can also help us to optimize the total cost of the project. And then the real art lies in the monitoring and controlling, which can be easily done against the baseline in Microsoft project. So let's begin the roller coaster ride to Microsoft Project through engagement interactive learning.